West winds, humidity at 90%, as I mentioned. It is sticky out there for this time of year. Our temperatures, though, look at the 70s in College Station, Angleton, Pearland, 72 degrees. Not too bad. You know, our actual high temperature this time of year is supposed to be right around 63 degrees. And well, we're way above that. So here you see our normal high 63, actual would be 68. Now, today also, our temperatures are about 10 to 12 degrees warmer than they were yesterday, and really it's just a change in the wind direction. We bring that wind from the south, and that's when things change quickly for us. We've had about a third of an inch of rain out at Intercontinental, and so this is the last day of 2016. On a normal year, we have just right around 50 inches of rain. Well, we've had over 60, almost 61. So again, it's been very, very heavy in the rainfall department, but it's been spotty. We had big rain in May, big rain in June, then it was dry August and September. And so again, it's kind of one of those years where the weather's been up and down. Okay, traveling around the country, well, we've got some cold air really along the northern tier of the U.S. with 30s and 20s from Billings, Denver, well, Denver about 40 degrees there, Minneapolis 22, so the cold air has stayed up there to the north, and we've seen more mild conditions down to the west. How about 74 in Miami this time of year? That is not so bad. So looking ahead, we've got what's left of a front passing away from us. We do have an area of low pressure that I expect to really kind of form a surface low, which means it's kind of lower to the ground on Monday. Now watch what happens. Now tomorrow, we're just sort of in between, little sprinkle not out of the question, but a cloudy day, more of a mild day for New Year's Day. But then Monday, that area of low pressure kind of forms, starts to move along the coast, and Monday morning rain will be likely, maybe even some strong storms. We're talking about 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. would be that best chance for rain, heavy rainfall too, although I think the severe storms are going to be a little north of us, but it'll be close. Coming up in the next half hour, we're going to take a closer look at that. Temperatures tonight, 50s and 60s. So again, mild for this time of year. I mean, a jacket not out of the question, but it's not going to be in the 40s and 50s and things like that. And highs tomorrow, generally in the 70s. That is mild for us. But again, it's not going to be a sunny day. It's not going to be a beautiful day. It's just going to be kind of a damp, mild, well, and temperatures on the warm side. So tonight, watch for the fog. I do think we're going to see sea fog, which is really thick coming in off the coast. And then everywhere else, because there's so much moisture in the air, we will see patchy, dense fog during the overnight hours. South winds at 5 miles an hour. That's the perfect wind for that fog to form. And then about 74 for our high temperature on New Year's Day, cloudy. Now, evening showers, that happens really early Monday morning. Highs will be in the 50s, though, by Thursday, Friday. So we're going to see some up and down weather as we start 2017.
Now, we've heard stories like this one from across the country, and you just have to shake your head. In St. Paul, Minnesota, police are urging residents to keep their dogs close after reports of another case of someone trying to poison dogs in their area. Fox's Leah Bino has the latest.
This case got the quick attention of St. Paul police because of other cases similar to it this summer.
Dogs will go after anything, at least this one does.
Hearing someone continues to try and poison dogs in her neighborhood stopped Lucy and her dog Frida in her tracks. Thursday evening, a dog owner reported suspicious bread inside their fenced-in backyard on the 1200 block of Minnehaha Avenue West.
We hadn't heard anything about this for a while.
St. Paul police are concerned because over the summer, 8 other dogs were poisoned with bread thrown into their yards, and at least 3 died.
A sweet little dog that doesn't hurt anybody.
Now, 5 months later, bread that is possibly also laced with rat poison is popping up within the same 4-block radius.
This is more of a loaf of bread that was torn apart and put near the food dish rather than a biscuit which had rat poison inserted into it. So it's a little bit different. There's no obvious poisoning in this bread, but we've recovered it.
Police encourage pet owners to check their yards before letting dogs out.
This instance, officers learned that a neighbor possibly had something similar happen to them 2 weeks prior, but did not report it. So we're urging everybody to please let us know so that we know what's going on in that area.
Lucy wonders what the motive behind hurting innocent pups could possibly be.
We have a lot of dog owners in the neighborhood, and it's very sad that someone should want to do harm.
Police suggest if you live in the area of Lexington and Minnehaha and you happen to find bread in your yard, use a plastic bag to pick it up just in case there's poison on it, and then call police.
It's sad. Well, still ahead, one of comedy's sassiest stars sits down with Fox 26's Isaiah Carey. Hear from Monique about being blacklisted in Tinseltown.
Highly responsive interactive radar map optimized for 3G and Wi-Fi for vertical and horizontal map display. Looping now rad radar. Highest resolution satellite cloud imagery available.
A lot of science went into the new Fox 26 My Weather app. All you need to know is it puts the power of your Gulf Coast Weather Authority in your pocket. The Fox 26 My Weather app, now available at the iTunes and Android stores.
.524, welcome back. Time for an Isaiah Carey exclusive. He sits down with actress and comedian Monique about her experience being blacklisted by Hollywood. Buckle up. It's time for the Isaiah Factor.
To touch my baby.
Her gritty role as a cruel and highly dysfunctional mother in Precious made Hollywood take notice, and it won her the highly coveted Oscar in 2010.
Was my man, and he wanted my daughter. And that's why I hated her.
But when you ask comedian and actress Monique about the Academy Award Hollywood bestowed upon her, it appears it means little to nothing.
That award was a big deal, but so was Maxine Waters' award that I got from the students at her preparatory school. That award was a big deal, and one award doesn't weigh out the other award. So are the NAACP Image Awards that I've received. Those are very big deals, and actually, that was the biggest deal for me. It wasn't the Oscar, because growing up watching the Oscars, when I did watch it, there wasn't people that looked like me that got that award.
Over the last few years, Monique has been in a very public war of words with Empire creator Lee Daniels. Daniels publicly said the actress was hard to work with and Hollywood blackballed her. How is she responding to that allegation today?
I never bought into that because the calls never stopped coming and the offers never stopped coming. They just didn't make sense. They were offers as if I had just gotten off the Greyhound bus. It was as if I hadn't won that award, and I was saying, if I accept these offers and I won it, then what are you giving my sisters who didn't?
Monique, the mother and wife, says she's not looking for approval from Hollywood. She says her self-worth comes from a different place, her home.
Yes, because you understand that at the end of the day, that's what it is. At the end of the day, there will be no cameras. At the end of the day, there will be no fans. At the end of the day, there will be no scripts. There will be no Walk of Fame. They will be your family and your friends.
In the meantime, Monique has turned her attention back to stand-up and producing her own movies with her husband, Sidney Hicks. She says it's about being properly compensated and ownership.
We made the decision to executive produce the movie Interwoven, and we had real ownership. And what that means is you will always be paid for your image. That's your image on screen. And to be the executive producer of a project, it puts Sidney and I in the position that we can make the decisions as to what direction we wanted it to go in. So it's always important for you to have ownership of you. Most times we get caught up in the system and we just want the money for the moment. But then you'll see your image 20 years from now, and who's getting that money? Someone is, but it's not you.
Coming up is this ceasefire, the one that will finally hold new hopes for peace in Syria tonight. We'll tell you about the UN-backed agreement.
This is Fox 26 News at 5 p.m.
5:30 now. Thanks for sticking with us. A check of news now from overseas. The UN Security Council voted to endorse the ceasefire agreement in Syria brokered by Russia and Turkey. Fox News correspondent John Huddy is in Jerusalem with more.
The UN Security Council unanimously approved a resolution supporting Russia and Turkey's efforts to broker peace in Syria as a ceasefire continues to hold despite some reports of fighting in a rebel-held area just northwest of Damascus. The Free Syrian Army, Syria's rebel alliance, threatened to abandon the truce tonight if attacks on rebel-held areas continued. So far, though, that hasn't happened, and it remains relatively calm in other parts of the country, such as war-ravaged Aleppo, where people were out at the markets today shopping, and the roads were fairly busy. Now, Russia and Turkey crafted the latest truce to countries that have been on opposite sides of the fighting in Syria's nearly 6-year civil war. The UN Security Council resolution supports the ceasefire and also talks between Syria's government and opposition groups in Kazakhstan next month. The resolution also calls for unhindered and rapid humanitarian access throughout Syria. Now, while other ceasefires have failed in the past, the difference this time around is that it comes after the carnage in Aleppo. That city has really become a symbol of the inhumanity and brutality of Syria's civil war. So after that fight, both sides may be more receptive to peace, and the UN's green light helps jumpstart more negotiations. The question now, will 2017 finally bring peace or more bloodshed in Syria? That said, Russian President Vladimir Putin and Iran's President Hassan Rouhani, both allies of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, reportedly spoke by phone today, agreeing to continue coordinating peace efforts in Syria, efforts excluding the United States. In Jerusalem, John Huddy, Fox News.
Now, here in America, many get ready to take part tonight in their favorite traditions to say goodbye to 2016, as farewell ceremonies also continue for President Obama. Fox News' Patricia Stark has a look at the week ahead.
A new